Hello and a very warm welcome to Rajya Sabha Television. This is Verdict 2013. I'm Frank Pereira. Let's start with the headlines. Chhattisgarh gears up for the second phase of polling. Security beefed up ahead of the elections. Delhi BJP to come out with its poll manifesto on November 22nd. Party to focus on price rise and women's safety among several issues. And BJP dissident Harsharan Balli finally gets a ticket to contest in Delhi polls. Congress gives him his stronghold Harinagar to defend. And tonight on Verdict 2013, we are going to focus on Chhattisgarh. As the state gears up for the second phase of polling, the focus shifts to the northern part of the state. The real battle for the state will be fought here, with majority of the state's electorate scheduled to exercise their franchise. The second phase of polls in Chhattisgarh will be completely different in nature than the first one. In the first phase, Maoist menace overwhelmed all the other issues. But on November 19th, the scenario will change. Voters will be asking tougher questions on issues like corruption, governance, unemployment. This phase will have higher number of voters and candidates than the first phase too. Now, against roughly 30,000 voters in the first phase, there will be more than 1 crore people who will come out to vote. 72 assembly seats are to be won in this phase for the 90-member Chhattisgarh Assembly. The fate of 843 candidates will be decided in this phase. For the incumbent Chief Minister Raman Singh, this phase holds the key to his chances for a record third term. Now, our correspondent Vishal Dahiya joins us for more on this particular story. Well, this is going to be make or break for Raman Singh, isn't it, Vishal?
Well, yes, you're right, Frank. This is going to be a make or break for Raman Singh because if you look at the overall assembly strength of Chhattisgarh, it's 90. 18 of those seats went to poll on 11th, and on 19th, the rest 72 will go to poll. So effectively, the major portion of the assembly seats in Chhattisgarh will go to polls on 19th. And you rightly pointed out, it is going to be really a tough battle for all the political leaders who are in the fray in these particular seats, specifically both for Congress and the BJP, because they're poised at an even level in these particular constituencies. If you look at 2008, but this time around, it is going to be a deciding factor as to who will win the state. Will it be Raman Singh who will get a third term, or will the Congress be able to go ahead and wrest the state from the BJP after 10 long years?
Well, we'll have to wait and see, and we will know that, of course, in just a few days. But do stay with us, Vishal. We'll come back to you from another perspective in just a bit. Now, the police has beefed up security ahead of the second phase of polls after recovery of a huge explosives from Maoist-affected Gariyaband district of Chhattisgarh. 14 tiffin bombs and live cartridges, besides other Maoist-related items, were recovered after an encounter with Maoists in this area. Now, adequate security arrangements are being made in districts like Mahasamund and Gariyaband, as well as Dhamtri and North Chhattisgarh, due to frequent Maoist movement in these areas, which will go to polls during the second phase. 8 constituencies of Maoist-affected Bastar region and Rajnandgaon district went to polls on November 11th, in fact, while the rest of the 72 constituencies of the state will go to polls during the second phase on the 19th. Meanwhile, a former IT professional, Umesh Patel, is the Congress candidate for the Kharsian constituency in Chhattisgarh. He is expected to carry on his father, Nand Kumar Patel's legacy, who has won many a times from this seat with record margins. Nand Kumar Patel and his son Dinesh Patel were killed by Maoists on the 25th of May this year. Umesh feels that development is the only panacea to curtail the Maoist problem. Here's more.
I'm joined by Mr. Umesh Patel, Congress's candidate for Kharsian constituency. Sir, after the Naxal attack on your father and your brother, you had to step into the political shoes of your father. Did you think that politics will come to you this way?
मैं कभी भी नहीं सोचा था कि ऐसी परिस्थितियां बन जाएगी, और ऐसी परिस्थितियों पे आप कैसे सोच सकते हैं कभी भी?
What is your plan to combat this menace of Naxalism?
आवाज उठाएंगे और बातचीत का भी दौर चले.
Development is the key, or some other way?
डेवलपमेंट ही की है। मेरे पिताजी ने यहाँ पे डेवलपमेंट के बहुत सारे काम किए हैं और मैं चाहूँगा कि मैं उनके तरह ही काम करूँ।
How do you assess these 10 years of Raman Singh's government?
भ्रष्टाचार हुए हैं, डेवलपमेंट के वर्क पेपर पे दिखे हैं।
How hopeful are you for Congress in these elections?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, मैं तो पूरा होपफुल हूँ कि इस बार कांग्रेस की गवर्नमेंट बन रही है।
Well, let's now bring in Vishal Dahiya once again into the picture to find out exactly how much of an issue is the Maoist menace going to be like in Chhattisgarh. Let's not forget, Vishal, almost the entire top leadership of the Congress was wiped out by Maoist ambush in this particular state a few months ago. Now, how much is the Congress really banking on a sympathy wave this time around?
Well, it was pretty much an issue for the Congress in the first phase of polls when the voters turned up to vote for 18 assembly segments. As far as these seats are concerned, yes, obviously the Congress party would definitely like to keep the issue alive. But if you look at the Maoist influence or the Naxal violence, the chances of occurrences of Naxal violence in this particular phase, we cannot say that these areas are pretty much not under the influence of Maoist violence or Naxal violence, because there are two districts, Mahasamand and Dhamtari, in which several of the polling booths have been declared hypersensitive by the Election Commission. Security has been tightened, as you were pointing out earlier. There have been several explosives which have been found. So obviously the administration, specifically the Election Commission, is not taking any chances as far as security is concerned. But as far as issues are concerned, yes, apart from the Naxal violence, in these 72 seats, there are regional issues, there are local issues like the road, water, power supply, as well as issues in districts like Bilaspur regarding the sewerage problem, and other several cities as well. There are specific issues to specific constituencies, and those local issues are likely to go ahead and be the center point of as to who will vote for whom.
All right, Vishal, do stay with us, of course. Let's look at another aspect of this particular election in Chhattisgarh. Of course, Raigarh is known as a Congress bastion. It is a rapidly growing industrial city in the state, but it lacks infrastructure and educational institutes. Unemployment is also one of the major issues here. Here's a look at the problems in Raigarh.
In an attempt to bring you continuous coverage of Assembly Elections 2013, Rajya Sabha Television today has reached Raigarh in Chhattisgarh. Erstwhile a princely estate and now a stronghold of Congress, Raigarh is also known as industrial and cultural capital of Chhattisgarh.
After the independence of the country, Raigarh was the first princely state to join the Union of India. With a total population of over 14 lakhs, Raigarh has a high tribal population. It is growing as an industrial city. It is also famous for Kathak dance and classical music. While Raigarh is well connected by rail, the state government has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Airports Authority of India in July 2013 to develop Raigarh Airport as the state's second airport. These posters on the streets exhibit that the district is gearing up for the assembly elections. Raigarh has 5 assembly election constituencies: Lailunga, Raigarh, Sarangarh, Kharsian and Dharamjaygarh. Of all the constituencies, BJP has only Dharamjaygarh, rest is with the Congress, and the party is hopeful of its victory in the impending elections as well.
रायगढ़ से हम जीत रहे हैं और छत्तीसगढ़ में भी हमारा बहुमत आ रहा है। 3 घंटे का भ्रमण हुआ। 3 घंटे में किसी ने भी ये नहीं कहा आपने ये वादा किया था, ये काम नहीं हुआ।
The BJP is also not leaving any stone unturned to ensure its victory in the coming elections in Raigarh district.
डॉक्टर रमन सिंह की सरकार की सारी जन कल्याणकारी योजनाओं को बिना भेदभाव के, सामाजिक समरसता के सरकार ने ईमानदारी पूर्वक गांव गरीब तक पहुंचाने की कोशिश की है। इस चुनाव में उसका अच्छा लाभ मिलेगा।
The administration has put mechanism in place for smooth polling.
We have identified 358 as the critical polling, maybe you can say sensitive polling stations, and out of that we have classified around 50 which are Naxal sensitive because we have border with Odisha, 3 districts and all. So for that Naxal area we have planned in a separate way so that there are no untoward incidents and all, and the polling is peaceful.
Raigarh lacks infrastructure and educational institutes. People also complain of unemployment in the region. They will be keeping these issues in mind when they go out and vote on November 19th. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Our correspondent Kriti Mishra now joins us for more on the story from Raigarh. Kriti, understanding or considering that Raigarh is of course a city, what are the issues really that are going to have an impact on the voters? Is it going to be smaller issues like development, infrastructure and unemployment, or is it going to be issues on the macro level like inflation and maybe even corruption?
See, Frank, employment and infrastructure development, these two are definitely big issues. Now, if you know that Raigarh is slowly turning into an industrial hub, and if you remember that it houses country's biggest sponge iron factory, yet unemployment is a big problem. Now, when I spoke to locals here, they complained that people from the neighboring states, that is Bihar, Jharkhand and Orissa, they come and take away their job prospects. Even the educated people, the educated youth, they have dearth of employment opportunities. Now, there's another side to the story. When I spoke to the industry representatives, they told me that locals, when they hire locals, they create a union and exert unnecessary pressure on the industry. And also, one fact that Raigarh lacks good educational institutes, so the demand for the efficient and the skilled labor is not met. But the fact remains that unemployment definitely is a big issue, and since this is the political season, so all political parties are riding high on this issue and making tall claims and promises.
All right, do stay with us, of course, Kriti. We'll come back to you for another reaction in just a bit as well. And since we are on that very topic, talking about industrialization and unemployment, let's take a look at this detailed report now on unemployment and skilled and unskilled labor in the area.
Raigarh is rapidly growing as an industrial city of Chhattisgarh. It is one of the major producers of steel, iron ore and power in the country. It is also known as industrial capital of Chhattisgarh. It has transformed into a growing industrial hub for the steel market. Just 8 kilometers from Raigarh city is the world's largest sponge iron and steel plant owned by Jindal Steel and Power Limited. Yet people find it difficult to find a secure job here.
काम करने आते हूँ, काम नहीं मिलता है, कभी मिल जाता है तो 150-200 कमा कर मिल जाते हूँ।
यंगस्टर्स को भी ये नहीं पता होता कि कहाँ पर कौन सी इंडस्ट्री में जाके कैसे वैकेंसीज को क्लियर की जाए, कैसे क्या किया जाए। इसके बारे में यहाँ पर ना गवर्नमेंट जानकारी देती है यंगस्टर्स को।
Even the educated youth has limited employment opportunities here. They want the government to reserve seats for the natives.
मैंने चुनाव में वादा किया है, लारा एनटीपीसी हो, कोरबा वेस्ट हो, रायगढ़ विधानसभा का अगले 5 साल में कोई भी ऐसा नवयुवक जो पात्रता रखता है, योग्यता रखता है, बेरोजगार नहीं रहेगा।
All the political parties in fray for the second phase of elections in the state made sure that they exploit the issue to the fullest.
लोगों को नौकरी देने के लिए रोजगार मेला लगवाया था, जिसमें जितने भी संस्थाएं हैं जहां नौकरी का पद रिक्त है वो सारे लोग आए थे। 2600 दूसरी सेकेंड ईयर में 2200 लोगों को स्थानीय रायगढ़ जिले वालों को नौकरी मिली है।
The industries here have made promises to absorb the natives, but very less has been accomplished.
Despite being the industrial capital of Chhattisgarh, Raigarh is plagued with massive unemployment. Locals only want political parties to ensure employment opportunities for them. Kriti Mishra, Rajya Sabha TV.
Kriti, coming back to you now, of course, you've been speaking to the youth of the region. What is it that the youth of the region want the government or the next government to do so as to ensure that this problem of unemployment is done away with? And what are the candidates, of course, in the area saying as to what they would do to ensure that some of these youngsters get jobs in the future?
Okay, Frank, first things first. The youth definitely want good educational institutions where they're skilled and they're properly trained for the industry and for the market. And they also want that some kind of information dissemination mechanism should be there so that they're aware of the job opportunities, which absolutely lacks here right now. And all the political candidates and all the political candidates of different parties who are contesting the election are definitely making very, very tall promises that as and when the land will be acquired for the industries, they will make sure that certain percentage of jobs is reserved for the natives. But all that is said is definitely not done. We need to understand that. But still, the voters are hopeful that the next political party that comes to power will fulfill its promises.
All right, Kriti, we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us there with all those details. Of course, moving on now, the second phase of voting in Chhattisgarh will take place on the 19th of this month. Our correspondent Vishal Dahiya travelled through the district to bring you this ground report on the issues and the political equations in the region.
Bilaspur district in Chhattisgarh is home to many important landmarks. The High Court is one of them. With 7 assembly seats, Bilaspur has a significant position in the state's politics. Key candidates from both the Congress and the BJP are contesting elections from here. The Congress has fielded Amit Jogi from Marwahi and his mother Renu from Kota, while the BJP has introduced in the fray Cabinet Minister Amar Agarwal from Bilaspur and Assembly Speaker Dharmlal Kaushik from Billa. In Bilaspur city, the underground sewerage system seems to be a key election issue this time.
राजनीतिक उठापटक की वजह से सीवरेज की हमेशा से यहाँ पर वो रही। बीआर यादव के समय भी खोदा गया था, उसको बंद हो गई, फिर अजीत जोगी के समय भी खोदा गया था, अभी नए सिरे से पूरे शहर में खोदा गया है और ये भी पूरी तरह सफल होगा ये कहा नहीं जा सकता है।
BJP candidate and the urban development minister, however, refuses to acknowledge this as an issue, while his Congress opponent, who is also the mayor, blames the state government for the problem.
सीवरेज के कारण थोड़ी जनता को परेशानी हुई, तो मेरे व्यक्तित्व में एक ये जो सीवरेज का मुद्दा जोड़ के वो इतना बाउंड्री खड़ा करना चाहते हैं कि उनकी नैया पार हो जाए।
कहीं ना कहीं सिस्टमैटिक इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए राज्य सरकार जनता के हिसाब से इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करे। स्वाभाविक है, राज्य सरकार का अर्थ है मंत्री, और लेकिन इम्प्लीमेंटेशन पूरा बंगले से हुआ और मैं ये कह सकती हूँ दावे से कि इसमें सिर्फ और सिर्फ भ्रष्टाचार हुआ।
Move away from the city to the villages and the complaints of bad roads, water and power shortage becomes more widespread. The long distance from the district headquarters is also contributing to people's problems in the Kota and Marwahi assembly segments. With not much to look out for in terms of basic facilities and a distance of more than 100 kilometers from the district headquarters in Bilaspur, people of this region have been demanding a new district for quite a few years now. But this demand has remained unresolved due to political rivalry between the two main parties.
जिला इसलिए चाहते हैं कि यहाँ से 150 किलोमीटर की दूरी पड़ती है, ना यहाँ जिला अस्पताल है, ना यहाँ मास्टर ठीक से है, ना यहाँ अस्पतालों में डॉक्टर हैं, ना यहाँ कॉलेज की सुविधा अच्छी है।
बिल्कुल यहाँ की परिस्थितियाँ बिल्कुल बदल जाएगी, बहुत विकास होगा, उन्नति होगी यहाँ पर। भाई हर चीज़ के हेड यहाँ पर डिपार्टमेंट्स आ जाएंगे सब।
But both the BJP and the Congress are blaming each other for letting the issues fester for over a decade now.
Despite this fact, Dr. Raman Singh ji is so petty, so vindictive. He is penalizing the people of Kota and Marwahi for their love and affection for my family.
जो मुख्यमंत्री जी अजीत जोगी जी थे, उन्होंने नहीं चाहा कि इस क्षेत्र का विकास हो। ये उनकी मतलब सोच गलत है, ये उनको करना चाहिए था और मुख्यमंत्री जी पूरा प्रयास कर रहे हैं, कहीं भेदभाव किसी चीज़ से नहीं किए हैं।
The BJP won 5 seats while the Congress got 2 seats in 2008 from Bilaspur. Both parties are hoping this time their tally will improve in the district. With camera person Shivi Sudarshan, Vishal Dahiya, Bilaspur, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's now once again bring back Vishal Dahiya into the picture and get a perspective from him on this issue as well. Of course, Vishal, as we were discussing earlier as well, you can't really pinpoint one particular issue and say that it's going to be universal for the entire state of Chhattisgarh. The localized issue hold the key here.
Well, yes, you're right. As we've seen both in Raigarh and Bilaspur, it's almost a similar scene in several other districts and constituencies as well. If you look at it that way, specifically from Bilaspur, the district is very, very important both for Congress and the BJP because of a simple fact that 2 key candidates, each from both the parties, are contesting elections this time. But apart from that, it is also really important for both of them to go ahead and win seats from here. Last time it was 5-2 in favor of BJP. And obviously, given the kind of keenly fought contest we are witnessing in Chhattisgarh, each and every seat will count for both Congress and BJP. And let's not forget, it's not only Congress and BJP around this time as well. There are several other parties, including the BSP. If you look at the overall picture of Chhattisgarh, the BSP got 2 seats last time, and that is a force which can't be written off so easily. Apart from that, there is Chhattisgarh Swabhiman Manch, which has gone into an alliance with the CPI and JDU. So obviously, their candidates are also putting up a fight at several places and several constituencies, giving sleepless nights to the leaders and strategy managers of both Congress and BJP.
All right. Thank you so much, Vishal Daya, for joining us there with all those details and bringing us up to date with the ground situation there in Chhattisgarh. On that note, it's time for a short break, and it's a roundup of everything that we've got you from Chhattisgarh. We'll be back with more news from the other poll-bound states. Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha Television, and this is Verdict 2013. Congress Party President Sonia Gandhi today addressed an election rally in the Rewa district of Madhya Pradesh. She attacked the BJP government led by Shivraj Singh Chauhan for making false promises. Sonia alleged that the government was not implementing the centre's welfare schemes. In contrast, she said that the Congress did not make false promises. Sonia also countered the BJP's prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi, stating that the people of Madhya Pradesh should ask where have all the central funds meant for the state gone.
इस प्रदेश में महिला पर ज्यादा अत्याचार और बलात्कार जैसे घिनौने जुल्म सबसे ज्यादा होते हैं। इस लिस्ट में मध्य प्रदेश सबसे ऊपर है। तो ये हाल है भाजपा के राज्य में लॉ एंड ऑर्डर की व्यवस्था की। जनता जब किसी को सत्ता सौंपती है तो उम्मीद करती है कि विकास के काम होंगे। इसी उम्मीद में आपने एक बार नहीं दो बार भाजपा को सरकार बनाने का अवसर दिया, लेकिन यहाँ क्या हुआ? विकास की सिर्फ बातें हुई। बच्चों का भविष्य बेहतर बनाने तो दूर, कुपोषण से दर्दनाक मौतें हुई यहाँ।
Meanwhile, BJP's prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi campaigned in Korba, Bhilla and a few other places in Chhattisgarh. Modi lauded the Raman Singh government for its work to stop the spread of Maoism in the state. He also praised the state government for surplus rice production, which it exports to 3 adjoining states. He also blamed the central government for not doing enough for the development of Chhattisgarh.
जब छत्तीसगढ़ मध्य प्रदेश पर कांग्रेस का राज हुआ करता था, तब अकाल ग्रस्त इलाका माना जाता था। यहां पर लोगों को पेट भरने के लिए अन्न बाहर से लाना पड़ता था। आज 10 साल के भीतर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार ने, डॉक्टर रमन सिंह जी के नेतृत्व ने ये स्थिति पैदा कर दी है कि छत्तीसगढ़ खुद का तो पेट अपने आप भरता है, लेकिन अगल बगल के 3 राज्यों को चावल पहुंचाने का काम आज छत्तीसगढ़ का मेरा किसान कर रहा है।
Well, the Delhi BJP will come up with its manifesto on November 22nd. It is expected to be a promise of good governance, revamp of public distribution system and reduction in power and water tariff. Delhi BJP Chief Vijay Goyal said that the manifesto would have key issues like controlling spiraling prices, reduction in power tariff by 30%, better water management, women's safety. He said that the party had invited suggestions from Delhi's residents for preparing their manifesto so that it does not remain a mere document but reflects the aspirations of the people. The manifesto would also touch upon other issues such as revamping of PDS, upgrading public health infrastructure, strengthening anti-graft machinery and making it more effective, decentralized planning, making Delhi an IT hub and linking higher education with job skills. Delhi is the last of the 5 states going to these elections on December 4th. Meanwhile, BJP dissident Harsharan Singh Balli has been given a ticket from Harinagar constituency by the Congress to contest for the upcoming Delhi Assembly polls. Balli joined Congress on Wednesday after the BJP denied him a ticket for the polls. He was the only sitting MLA denied a ticket by the BJP. He has won Assembly elections from the Harinagar constituency for 4 consecutive times. Balli has replaced Surendra Kumar Setia in the list of 15 candidates announced by the party. Congress is hoping to trump Shiromani Akali Dal candidate Shyam Lal Sharma at this constituency by fielding Balli. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Verdict 2013. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again, same time, same place.